Dear students, through this video lecture, we are going to cover some advanced level concepts and associated problems from the topic number system. So as you know that the number system, the topic in itself is very vast, and many times it confuses the students that what is the scope and nature of questions that are asked from this topic. So before we proceed any further, let's first understand that what are the crucial topics or this entire topic. So though this topic appears to be quite vast, but still, you can categorize the questions. So let's have a look at the various domains or various topics from which the questions from number system are framed. So let's have a look at the topics first. So students, here is a list of a few critical topics that you have to necessarily, cover. So here are those topics. So factors of any number, factorials, then those questions related to finding unit digits, cyclicity. So we will discuss each of this topic in great detail. Then we have to cover the, basics and advanced level problems of HCF, LCM. Then divisibility rules, and these are not pretty simple divisibility rules. So some advanced level divisibility rules. Then digit based questions, for example, those kind of questions in which it is said that the sum of the digits is so and so, the unit digit is 2 times of 100 digits, so that kind of problems. And then base system. So these are a few critical topics that we have to necessarily master. So let's cover each topic one by one. So the first critical topic that we are going to cover is the concept of finding number of factors. So let us understand what all this topic has to offer. So as you must be aware of what is meant by a factor. So let's revisit the concept of factors. So if I ask you a simple question, is 16 a factor of 240? So this is a question. So there can be many ways to answer this question. One way of this can be that you actually divide and see. So the best way or the most common way employed by us is that if we are not very sure, if it's not obvious by looking, then what do? We divide 240 by 16 and we look at the answer. If the answer is a integer, that means a complete number, nothing in decimal, then we conclude that yes, 16 divides 240. So let's divide and see. So what are we doing when we are dividing these numbers? So we are cancelling common factors. So this is what we would be doing when we are actually trying to divide. So we realize that 24 and 16 both are multiples of 8. Then we first divide this by 8. We get 2 here. We get 30 here. Then again we see that further cancellation can be done. So further cancellation means 2 can still divide 30. So after proper cancellation and division, we observe that 240 when divided by 16 gives a number or a complete number as the answer. So hence we conclude that yes, 16 completely divides 240. So this is one way to do. This division, if you bifurcate this division, what we have just done, let's understand the mathematics behind dividing or cancellation. So 240, if you prime factorize this, So prime factorization means writing a number as a product of only prime numbers. So 240 can be written as 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, this is basically 16 into 15. So 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 3 into 5. So this is what 240 is. So this can also be written as 2 to the power 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 to the power 4 into 3 to the power 1 into 5 to the power 1. So we were trying to divide 240 by 16. So let's see what 16 is. So 16 is 2 to the power 4. So basically you are trying to divide 2 to the power 4 into 3 to the power 1 into 5 to the power 1 by 2 to the power 4. So cancellation took place. Cancellation means this 2 to the power 4 got completely cancelled. So this number completely vanished. Only one was there in the denominator. Because 1 was there in the denominator, that's why answer was not a fraction. Answer came as a complete number. N by 1 can be written as n. That's why the answer is a complete integer. So this basically means when we are trying to divide two numbers, so if we are trying to divide two numbers, let's say we are trying to divide a by b, and let's say the factorization of a looks something like this: 2 to the power 5 into 3 to the power 3 into 5 to the power, let's say, 4. This is how a looks like. And if the prime factorization of b is 2 to the power 2 into 5 to the power 3, then just by looking at this prime factorization, what can we conclude? Will this 2 square get cancelled? Yes, this 2 square will get cancelled because there are sufficient powers in the numerator to cancel this out. Will this get cancelled out? Yes. 5 cube will also get cancelled out because there are enough powers available here to cancel this out. So after cancellation, only 1 will be left. Leaving 1 behind means the answer comes out to be an integer. Answer coming out an integer means complete division takes place. Complete division takes place. Fine. So we have to apply this concept of cancellation while finding the number of factors. So let us see how. Now let's try to answer this question. So how many factors does the number 108 have? So how many factors does 108 have? So before getting to the concept, let us manually list down the factors of 108. So I'm listing it down. That means I'm not using any mathematics, but I'm just using heat and trial method. So factors of 108, I am listing it here. I think 1 is a factor of 108. So if 1 is a factor, it must be multiplied with something, then only we will get 108. So if 1 is a factor, the other factor is revealed. 1 will help you to find the other factor. So if 1 is a factor, so 108 has to be other factor because 1 has to be multiplied with something to get 108. Similarly, if 2 is a factor, the other factor is how much? What should you multiply 2 with to get 108? So 54. So all these numbers that I am writing here, so all these numbers are factors. 3 is a factor. Does 3 divide 108? Yes, it does. So if 3 is a factor, what should be the other factor? 3 into 36. 4 is a factor. Yes, 4 divides 108. So if 4 is one factor, the other factor should be 27 because 27 into 4 is 108. Is 5 a factor? No, 5 is not a factor of 108. Is 6 a factor? So yes, 6 is a factor. So if 6 is a factor, the other number, what should be the other number? 18. 18 6 are 108. Is 7 a factor? So if you divide, you will realize that 7 is not a factor. Is 8 a factor? Does 8 divide this number or not? So 8 doesn't divide this number. Does 9 divides this? So yes, 9 divides this. So 9 is a factor. If 9 is a factor, 12 is also a factor. 12 nines are 108. 10 not a factor. 11 not a factor. 12. So there is no point going further, because after 9 you are going to write 12, but you have already written 12 here. So this is first half. First half of the factor reveals the second half. So how many factors? How many factors? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 factors total. But we haven't used any mathematics. This any child also can do. So this is obviously not a good method. So let's understand the mathematical approach that one should employ while solving such questions. Next time somebody asks you this question, that how many factors does 108 have? So obviously we are not going to take these kind of baby steps. Now what should our ideal approach be? So let's have a look. So I just made this list to convince you that yes, there are 12 factors. Now let's calculate this mathematically. So let us understand what is 108 after all. So if you prime factorize 108, so 108 can be written as 2 square 4 into 27. So 2 square into 3 cube. So if you prime factorize 108, this comes out to be equal to 2 square into 3 cube. Now what next? So basically we are trying to understand that how many numbers can you write here, and while trying to divide, these numbers should cancel out, completely cancel. So complete cancellation. If complete cancellation takes place, then only you can say that the number written at the bottom is the factor of the number written above. So basically we are trying to find that how many different numbers or prime factorizations can be created here. Prime factorization can be created here so that it gets completely cancelled out. So each such number will become a factor. If you write something here, if you write that in terms of prime factorization and it gets cancelled out, so it will be obvious that the number that you have written here was a factor of this number. So this is the approach we have to take. So let's understand that how many different numbers would we be able to write. So you can see that above powers of 2 and powers of 3 are available. So you can afford to write powers of 2 and powers of 3 here, and you can expect that these powers will get cancelled. If you write any power of any other prime number, that will be meaningless. If you try to insert any power of 5 here, any power, let's say 5 square, that is a meaningless effort because there is no 5 available here. So cancellation is not going to take place. So you have to be very careful which numbers are you going to use to generate factors. So since only powers of 2 and 3 are available above, so at the bottom you can use only these powers of 2 and powers of 3. Now the question is, how many different values can be assigned to x and y. Also each each unique combination of x and y would result in a unique factor. That means you keep on changing the value of x and y, and if cancellation takes place, then each combination will give you a unique factor. So this is the approach that we have to take. Now let's finally solve this. Now let's answer how many possible values of x are there. So x can take values. So you have to choose x carefully. You have to keep in mind that cancellations should take place. So x can take values 0, 1 and 2. If you write anything above 2, if you write x instead of x, if you write 2 to the power 5, so cancellation is not going to take place, because the maximum possible value that will get cancelled is 2. So this is the maximum possible value that will get cancelled. So x can take these values. So 3 different values. Similarly, y can take how many values? Y can take values from 0. The maximum value that will get cancelled is 3. So from 0 to 3. How many different values? 4 different values. 4 different values. It means how many unique combinations of x and y are possible. So x can take 3 different values, y can take 4 different values. So 3 into 4, 12 unique combinations. 12 unique combinations are possible. It means each combination basically means a factor. So there are 12 factors. And what have we counted? We have listed down, and after listing also we have found out that 12 factors are possible. Now unique combination. For example, you have understood that x can take any value in this range 0, 1, 2. Similarly, y can take any value from this available range. So choose any proper value. 2 to the power x, instead of x choose 1. 3 to the power y, in place of y choose square. So what I am trying to say, that this number I can blindly say is a factor of 108. So that's why you can try out various combination. Each combination will be definitely a factor. So this is the approach. Now let's turn this into a formula. So before turning this into a formula, understand something. How many possible values x can take? 3 different possible values. What was the maximum available power? Maximum available power was 2. That's why x can take 3 different values. In case of power of 3, maximum available power was 3. That's why you notice that y can take 4 different values. That means 1 more than the available power. Plus 1 more than the available power, because 0 is also one of the options. So what does this mean? So next time somebody asks you to find the factor, let's suppose there is a number a, which when prime factorized looks something like this: 2 to the power 7 into 3 to the power 4 into 7 to the power, let's say, cube. So how many factors? How many factors will a have? How many factors? So look at the powers. Here the power is 7. So if you try to cancel, so power is 7, here the power is 4, here the power is 3. So if you try to generate factors, how many possible values you can give to x? From 0 to 7, because the maximum possibility of cancellation is 7. So 8 values, 8, exactly one more than the maximum power available. Here 5 values, 5 values. Here 4 different values are possible. So total factors, therefore total factors will be product of these numbers. 8 into 5, because product, why? Because various combination, each combination would mean a new factor. So 8 into 5 into 4. So 160 factors in total. So this should be your approach. Whenever somebody asks you to find the total number of factors, factorize that number. After factorizing, you know what to do. Just add 1 in the powers of the prime and then multiply the numbers. Fine. So this should be your approach. Now let's see what different questions are asked. What else do you need to be aware of while finding the factors or the total number of factors? Now let's see this question. How many factors of 108 are even in nature? So till now we have learned how to find total number of factors. But this time question is different. Question is, how many factors of 108 are even in nature? So let's revisit the factors that we have found out. So we have already listed down the factors of 108. So we listed this down. Now the question is, how many of these factors are even? So there are total 12 factors. So out of these 12 factors, how many are even? So this is even, this is even, 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 and even. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So answer is number of even factors is equal to 8. But there is no mathematics involved in it. This is doing like small child does. So now let's see the mathematical approach. Let's find out the same answer mathematically. So 108 can be written as 2 square into 3 cube. So we are trying to generate factors here. So generate factors by keeping in mind, we have to keep in mind two things. First thing is, complete cancellation should take place. Complete cancellation. The other thing is, number generated should be even. Number generated should be even. So if you manage to do these two things, so you will be able to generate even factors. Complete cancellation will make it a factor. Keeping it even will make it a even factor. So these two things you have to keep in mind. So let's see how many possible powers of x, how many possible powers of y. Now how many possible powers of x can be there? Can you assign value of x to be equal to 0? See, you have to make number even. So something becomes even only when at least one time 2 is present in this. So if you multiply something which does not contain 1 at all, so if you keep on multiplying numbers which are all odd, so you can't generate even numbers. So in order to generate even number, you are forced to use at least 2 to the power 1. If you use 2 to the power 0, that means you have decided that you are not going to multiply the number with 2. And if you are not going to multiply the number with 2, it will never become even, because 2 is the only prime number. So you have only opportunity to write 2 powers of 2 here. So it basically means x to the power x cannot be given the value 0. X is equal to 0 is not possible, because if you write x in place of x, if you take value to be 0, that means you are not using 2 at all. So not using 2 at all means it's not going to become even. So possible powers of x will not include 0. It will start from 1 and the maximum value it can take is 2. What are the possible values that you can assign to y? For y, there is no restriction, because these are the 2 conditions that we had to keep in mind. The second condition is based on 2, not on 3. So no effect on possible values of y. So y can take all the values like it would have taken before. So 0, 1, 2 and 3. So 2 values here, 4 values. Therefore, total combinations would be equal to how much? 2 into 4. 2 into 4 is equal to 8. And each combination means new factor. So therefore, 8 factors. And by looking at the list also, you can convince yourself that we have found out the right answer. Answer is 8. So what is the difference? While finding factors which are even, you have to keep in mind that 2 to the power 0 won't work. So this doesn't work anymore. So this is what you have to keep in mind. Now let's see the next. So now let's see how can we solve this question. Question is, how many factors of 108 are odd in nature? So earlier we have solved even in nature. Now let's see odd in nature. So if you go back to the original list, so there are total of 12 factors. Out of 12, 8 are even. So the remaining must be odd. Total 12 factors. Out of total, 8 are even. So remaining must be odd. This is one way to think. But to find odd factors, it is not a good idea to first find total factors, then find even factors, and then subtract. So this is a lengthy method. So let's see the easy approach. The easy approach is in fact very easy. 108 is written as 2 square into 3 cube. You want to generate factors here, and you have to keep in mind that this should not be even. This should not be even. Fine. So the only possibility of x is equal to 0 is the only possibility, because anything except this will make it even. X is equal to 0 is the only possibility. That means you do not want any power of 2 here. So you can completely ignore. You do not want any power of 2 to be seen in the factor, in the bottom. So x is equal to 0 is the only possibility, means completely ignore. Do not need. Completely ignore powers of 2. You do not want any power of 2 here. So concentrate only on the remaining number. So how many possibilities of y? 0, 1, 2, 3. So how many combinations? How many factors? There is only one possibility, that you have to ignore it. So 1 into 4. So 4 factors. and as per the list also 4 factors. So you can see. So these are the approaches that you have to take to solve the type of questions where one is asked to find the total number of factors.